Right now, we are in terrible times in the entire world right now. We are having people tell us that the world is going to be consumed because of the climate crisis. We're having people tell us that we need to kill all the Jews and we need to kill all the Christians. We're having people try to shut down our college campuses. We're having people telling us death to America. We have all these things going on all over the world. What is going on? Well, 2,000 years ago, a man by the name of John wrote a revelation of he had seen Jesus, and Jesus said, I want you to write, because in the last days, just before I come and make things right and set up my kingdom, there will be political chaos. There is in the world today, and a man will rise to fill that vacuum. There will be religious chaos, and there is today. A man will rise and fill that vacuum. And then the Bible says the world will become a one world economic concentration camp. Now, you say that will never happen. He literally says he'll give the entire world. Now, this is a man 2,000 years ago, before we had computers. He'll say every man will get a mark. He'll get what we call a computer chip embedded in his hand or in his forehead. We already have that today. And he cannot buy, sell, work. You can't do anything without that computer chip. Now stop and think about that. First of all, if we get that, then the United States will be able to collect its income tax. Just think about that, because it's a cashless society. It'll eliminate the drug trade. Just think about that. The government will run the drug trade. The government will be selling fentanyl. The government will be selling marijuana and all those things. I mean, just think about it. You can't get on an airplane unless you have that number right there. And just think about that. That will eliminate all the terrorists blowing up the airplanes. Just think about that. You can't scam somebody out of their money unless you cut their hands off, or you somehow or other cut their head off and get their chip. You see what I'm talking about? It'll bring safety and security into our world. Now, if you don't think that will happen, let me tell you three things. Number one, I was told this a few years ago by a man that was in the National Security Agency of the United States of America. Every American citizen, they have reams, I mean huge reams of everything you do and say. If you drive an automobile today and you have a cell phone today, they know when you buy, they know what you sell, they know all that behavior, they know where you travel, they know how fast you travel, they know how long you're there, they know when you come back, they know where you live, they know where you're going, they know everything about you, all the information. So the possibility of that happening for the first time in the world has happened. Secondly, there was a bill that just passed Congress, and this is where we're going. If you think the Congress is on your side, banning the Federal Reserve System. So as a result of that, we will not have an American dollar anymore. And as a result of that, right now, the world economic focus, the people in power in the world, Bill Gates, Barack Obama, Klaus Schwab, all those people have already announced that by 2030, and that's the year, we will be on a one world monetary system. And you say, well, what about everybody else? Well, the Saudis, the Chinese, the Russians, they've all got, the Indians, they've all got together, and they have their own system of finances and monetary equality. And so basically what's going to happen, we're going to say, all right, guys, you want to trade with us? You've got to come over to our side and get on our system. And so there will be world domination, and they will give you a number. And by the way, they'll give you a carbon tax, and you can only travel so much unless you're Taylor Swift or Bill Gates or John Kerry, Barack Obama, or Joe Biden, or Hillary Clinton, or people like that, Klaus Schwab, then you will be able to go anywhere in the world you want to. I want you to think about what I'm saying right now. John Kerry, Greta Thunberg, Taylor Swift, they will pollute more in one trip from Tokyo to the United States to watch their boyfriend play on national television, and Taylor sitting in a box with the NFL focus on her and her praying to Satan and chugging beer. She will pollute more in that one trip than you and I put together and all our family put together will in a whole lifetime. So just think about that. They will determine what you eat, when you eat, where you shop, what you buy, what you wear, where you work. They will determine everything. They will determine on whether you have church or not. And if you don't go with the system, they'll shut your church down. You say, oh, that'll never happen. It did during the pandemic. If you don't go with our system, we're going to shut you down. It's happened in Canada right now. If you don't support the government, we're going to shut you down. And so it's happening all over the world. It's happening in Russia. It's happening in China. It's happening in Saudi Arabia. It's happening in Iran. It's happening in India. And it's happening in the United States right now. So that's all in place all right now. All they're waiting for is for the Antichrist to arise. I believe he has arisen. He is arisen. Now, I know that's not gender neutral when I say he, but that's what the Bible says. Maybe he's transgender. Maybe he's homosexual. I don't know what he is, but he will arise. I believe he's alive today. I don't know who he is, but I've got a picture of what he is, and it's in the Bible. So right now, you need to be saying, look up, for all these things are coming to pass, and Jesus is coming soon. It's time not only to sound the alarm, but it's time to get to your battle stations and start preparing, because Jesus is coming again very soon. Thank you so much, and God bless you.